What about Vancouver Island? Time to bring in Jason D'Souza. He is the host of CBC's All Points West. Jason, great to see you. You hear from voters every day. What issues are top of mind for them?
Well, Dan, I don't think it'll be a surprise to you or anyone across British Columbia to know that affordable housing really is one of the topmost issues for people right across Vancouver Island. But it's not just the actual cost of trying to buy a home. I think supply across the island has been such an intriguing point. And one of the most interesting ways to take a look at that, I find, is going municipality to municipality. So as we begin our election campaign coverage next week, one of the stories we're going to be bringing to listeners is actually taking a deep dive into the municipality of Oak Bay, where there's a very contentious project that's being proposed by a developer, taking this single-family lot, turning it into 13 townhouse complex. And as you can imagine, it's got some neighbors disgruntled. The developer says it's very much in line with the housing targets and the missing middle project that the NDP government has been proposing. So really excited to hear from all three candidates in Oak Bay to hear not only their personal thoughts about that issue, but to also get their party's policy as well as it relates to affordable housing.
And election night is always going to be busy. It's always exciting. What other races on the island will you be watching over the coming weeks?
Yeah, well, I know you know, Dan, and the rest of us, that nail-biter back in 2017, as Vancouver Island is no stranger to dramatic races. And of course, what happened in Courtney Comox still resonating today. I think Courtney Comox is going to be a fascinating race to watch. You still have Ronald Ray Leonard, the incumbent there. But BC Conservatives, I think they've had that riding circled on their map for quite some time. I don't think it's a coincidence that John Rustad will be at Black Creek tomorrow as part of his election campaign launch. And that is a riding that I think the Conservatives have felt that they may be able to wrestle from the NDP for some time now. Don't count out the Greens there as well. They've got a pretty healthy vote share over the last two elections. And of course, Dan, when you talk about the BC Green Party here on the island, you have to look at the potential fate of their leader, Sonia Furstenau, who is changing ridings, moving from Cowichan Valley. She is going to be attempting to win Victoria Beacon Hill, which is a fortress for the NDP. Currently, the incumbent, the MLA, is Grace Lohr, who is also the Minister of Family and Child Development. It's going to be a fascinating race to watch, of course, not only for Sonia Furstenau, but for the Green Party, whose other island candidate, Adam Olsen, popular MLA, has announced he won't be running. So all three parties looking at Vancouver Island, Dan, this battleground for BC election night. And yeah, too many ridings to count in terms of that drama, but those are two that I'm certainly going to be watching closely. And we will do it as well. Jason D'Souza, the host of CBC's All Points West. Thanks very much, pal. Thanks, Dan.